Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to the Missy Money channel. I'm Missy, I'm a mom of 3 and the owner of Missy Money, a small business that specializes in minimalist and aesthetic cash stuffing essentials to help inspire and motivate you on your personal finance journey. Today I'm going to be doing a cash condensing of my sinking funds and savings challenges. If you're interested in learning more, stay tuned. All right, guys, so it is past time that I needed this cash condensing, and I'm super excited today to just get my binders a little bit cleaner, a little bit thinned out, and ready to go for November. So I am doing this cash condensing after my last pay period of October, right before I do my first cash stuffing of November. So this will give me a clean slate going into November, which I'm super excited about. So I'm gonna go ahead and count. This is the money that I took out of the bank. It's all 100s and 50s, which is what I typically like to condense into in terms of bills. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a count because I should have $1,500 here, and that will be kind of our starting point for our cash condensing. So let's just go ahead and make sure that that this is right. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So that is $1,500 in 50s and 100s. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into my cash tray here, and I'm going to save room for 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, and then 100s. So at the end of this condensing, I need to make sure that I'm accounting for $1,500 that I pulled out, kind of borrowed from my savings account, that will go back to the bank to replenish that. The other thing that I'm going to need that I'm going to go grab, give me 1 second, is placeholder bills. So I know that I'm going to need some placeholders as we do this cash condensing. For those of you that are new to my channel or have never seen placeholder bills before, they are kind of exactly what you would expect. So it is just a little placeholder that goes in place of having cash in an envelope, most usually in sinking funds, but they can also be used in savings challenges. And this placeholder represents $1,000. For example, in the case of this placeholder, if I put this into an envelope, it would represent $1,000 that is sitting in my bank account, in my savings account, that is tied to whatever category this placeholder is in. So I will show you more specifically how that works, because I know that there are for sure a couple of envelopes where I will be able to use a placeholder, and then I'll kind of show you how it works and what we do with that money. So again, $1,500 is my starting point, so I'll need to make sure that I am accounting for that $1,500 at the end of my condensing. So I am actually going to go in reverse order for this cash condensing, and I am going to start with my Magical Vacation Savings Challenge. Now, one thing I do want to say, normally I do not cash condense savings challenges. For my 52-week savings challenge and for my 12-month savings challenge, I will actually not condense those, because there is something about just unstuffing savings challenges at the end of the year or at the end of the challenge that I think is personally really rewarding and exciting. And so I don't do any condensing through the year for my 12-month savings challenge or for the 52-week savings challenge, because I just love having that moment of unstuffing it all and counting it all up. I am making an exception for my Magical Vacation Savings Challenge, though. Number one, because this savings challenge needs to hold a lot of money. I am saving a lot of money for this vacation for us, for our family. And number two, because I actually want to have some of this in the bank when I'm able to transition into the bank, because there are some deposits that I'm going to need to make on pieces of this vacation, like our cruise fare, like our tickets, and like our accommodations. I'm going to need to make deposits to hold that. So once I get to a point where I can use a placeholder bill, I'm going to want to do that. So I've got some of the money for this challenge sitting in the bank, so I can actually go ahead and make those deposits when we're ready to book the trip, which is coming up pretty soon. So not the trip, the deposit. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to flip back here and start with other, because I know I've got some 100s and 50s in here that I want to get condensed down. So we are using the other in this Magical Vacation Savings Challenge for our cruise fare. So each other symbol is worth $200, which is much, much higher than the rest of my symbols. And I have filled out 5 symbols. So I should have an even $1,000 in here that I can swap out for a placeholder. So let's go ahead and give this a count and make sure that's what we have. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 50, 200, 50, 300, 50, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, $1,000. So that is awesome. I think $1,000 is what we are going to need in order to make the deposit for our cruise fare. So by having this in the bank, I will know that $1,000 of my savings account is tied to my cruise fare in this other savings challenge. And I will then replace that with a $1,000 placeholder, just so I've got a representation in this envelope of the $1,000 that I have saved for it. So that is awesome and a great start to this condensing. Okay, let's see. We're gonna start this way just to be able to get a better mix of bills and then work our way back. I just knew I wanted to start with that. So for airfare, I'm definitely gonna be able to do a condensing. I might be able to do another placeholder. So currently in airfare, we've got a $500 placeholder, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 30, oh no, this is all mixed up. Okay, first we need to organize. And then we can go back to counting. And I will definitely be able to condense this. Okay, sorry guys, we're gonna do that again. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85. I'm going to set that down here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 20, 10, 20. Okay, so I'm going to be able to do $120. I'm going to pop that back in here. And then all of this I'm going to replace with a $1,000 placeholder. I had a $500 placeholder in here. This was $500, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop that back in here. And then I'm gonna take $1,000 placeholder, and my total in airfare will be $1,000, which will be in the bank, and then $120, which will still be in the envelope. So that is a huge improvement in how many bills were sitting in that envelope. All right, so that is it for airfare. Packing, I think I'll be able to swap out for a 10, so not a huge condensing, but we'll take it. I've got the 10s now to be able to do that, so may as well. Pre-trip prep. So this one has $25 in it, so I will just go ahead and put those 5s in, swap that out for a 20. Accommodations has a lot, so let's see what we can do here. So accommodations has 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82. Man, you would have thought I would have learned. 20, I'm gonna have to start over, guys. All right, so first, let's learn from our mistake for last time. Let's go ahead and organize this cash first, and then give it a count. So accommodations has 100, 200, 250, 270, 290, 310, 330, 350, 370, 390, 410, 430, 450, 470, 490, $500. So I will be able to swap that out for a $500 placeholder as well, which is great. I'm glad I did this one first. All right, guys, so accommodations has $500, and hopefully that would be enough to put a deposit down as well on accommodations. So we are getting really close to being able to book this, which is super exciting. All right, transportation. Transportation has $25, so I'm just gonna do the same thing I did before, grab a 20, just simplify that one a bit. Food and drinks. Again, let's organize our cash first. All right. Now let's see what we can do on this one. So food and drinks has 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105. So I'm going to keep a 5, grab a 100, and then the rest can go. All right, so we've got 105. Now for food and drinks, which is great. All right, tickets. Tickets we can definitely also condense down. Let's see what we can do here. I won't have to do this cash organizing when I get to my sinking funds because I already, in those envelopes, I kind of put them in denomination order. So this is a savings challenge problem, but we'll figure it out here. All right. All right, let's see what we've got in tickets. So tickets has 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 300, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So $330. So I am going to keep a 20 and a 10. Then I'm going to pull 3 $100 bills. So 1, 2, 3, and I will put the rest of it back into my cash tray here. All right. Entertainment. I can swap for a 20. And then activities has $60, and I guess I could swap that for a 50 and a 10. Spending, 2 10s, I can swap for a 20. If you're doing condensing for the first time, you don't have to do these like smaller swaps. I just like getting it as condensed as I can. And then souvenirs, I definitely can condense. I didn't think I had any ones, but I'll just pop those in the back here. So I've got $20 total. I'll pop the ones back here. I can't forget to grab those. And then I'll swap that for a 20. Emergency, I've got $40. Nothing I can do with that. Pet care, I've got 2 5s. I'll just swap those for a 10. That brings me back to miscellaneous, which I definitely have a 10 that I can swap for now. So that one is all set, which is great. All right, so that is it. Much more manageable on my Magical Vacation Savings Challenge. All right, next let's go ahead and condense my long-term sinking funds. My long-term sinking funds I like doing early in the cash condensing because I don't touch these envelopes very often. So whenever I can condense these down, I'm going to use the highest denomination bills that I have. because I don't need a lot of flexibility. I'm not unstuffing them very often. Unlike my short-term sinking funds or my kids binder, where I'm okay having a kind of more mix of bills because I'm reaching into those to unstuff for credit card and debit card purchases more frequently. So let's go ahead and see what we've got in emergencies. So I've got 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500. So that means that I'm going to go ahead and put all of this into my cash tray here, and I'm going to swap out for a $500 placeholder in emergency, which is great. All right, Christmas. Let's see what we've got in Christmas. So I've already got a $1,000 placeholder. So let's see what I've got in cash. So 100, 150, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 20, 40. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pick out the best ones. I'm going to keep $40, and then the rest of this cash, I'm going to go ahead and pop into my cash tray and swap out for another $500 placeholder. Got lots of placeholders this time around, which is great, but we'll just need to make sure that we're reconciling all of those at the end when I do my big count. So I am just marking those off to the side anytime that I put a new placeholder in, so I know how much cash I should have at the end count, my end reconciliation count. So Christmas is now at $1,540, and $1,500 of that will be in the bank. Holidays. Holidays has 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So I'm going to keep a 10 and a 20 and then put a 50 in there, and I will put the rest of this back into my cash tray. And then medical has 100, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 270, 290, 310. I do not have a 10, so I'm just going to go ahead and 100, 200, 300, 10. And the rest of this will go back into the cash tray. Phew, that 20s is getting real cramped in there, but still stuffing it in. All right, so medical still has 310. Insurance has 100, 200, 300, 350, 370, 390, 410, 430, 450, 470, 490, $500. So that is another one that is ready for a placeholder, which is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this cash in here. And then I will take this $500 and put it in here for insurance. And that'll be great because I pay our car insurance premium twice a year, and I think it's due in December. So I will have that in the bank and ready to go already. So, all right, home. Home has 100, 150, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So $355. So I'm going to keep the 5, the 50, the 100, and then I'm going to put 200. So this should be 355. And first, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put all the rest of this back into the cash tray here, and then I will count that again and make sure that it's got 355. So 100, 200, 355. Perfect. And then last in the long-term sinking funds is my car envelope. So in car, I've got 100, 150, 170, 180, 190, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, $280. So I will keep 80. I'm going to keep that 100, swap that. So I'm going to pop this into the cash tray here. Then I've got that will go back into my car envelope. And that is great. All right, next, let's go ahead and condense my short-term sinking funds. So shopping, starting with shopping. Shopping has, wow, only 30 bucks. I've been pulling from that one. All right, not much we can do there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just swap out those 5s for a 10. Date night I can definitely condense. So date night has 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 300, 5, 10. So 310. I will keep that 10. And I will go ahead and do 3 $100 bills in that. All right. So we will pop that back into date night. Family fun. Family fun has 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 160, 165. So I will keep that 65 and then I will put these 20s into the tray and grab 100 for family fun. Actually, you know what? Instead of the 100, I'm going to grab 2 50s because family fun is one where I don't usually spend $100 at a time for that. So give us a little bit more flexibility. All right, clothing. Clothing has 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So 145. So I'm going to keep 45 here and then I will swap that for $100 bill. All right. And then self-care. Self-care has 50, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 270, 290. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to condense that down because I'll still have a 50 and 2 20s in there. And then I'll swap that for 2 $100 bills. Ooh, 20s are barely hanging on in there. All right. Lola and Luna. Lola and Luna have 100, 20, 40, 45, 50. So all I can do for this is swap the 20s and the 5 out for a 50. All right, and then gifts has 40, nothing I can do for that. So I'll go ahead and keep that the way it is. Kindness projects, I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So I will swap those 5s out for 2 20s. Shop small, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do anything with. Yep, it's got $40, so nothing I can do there. And then miscellaneous. Miscellaneous has 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 50. So I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't decide. Miscellaneous, I usually need 20s, but I'm going to swap out these 2 20s and a 10 for a 50. Miscellaneous is like my coverage bucket, and so usually I'm not going over any given purchase by a lot, so I'll just leave myself some 20s in there. So that is hugely improved for my short-term sinking funds. And then last, let's see what we can do in the kids binder here. So Maverick has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll keep a 5. Then I'll give him a 10 and a 20 and put all these 5s back in. So he now has 35. Still has 35, I should say. Remster has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So again, I'll keep a 5 and I'll grab a 20. and place those 5s. Cal has 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So I am going to swap her completely for a 50 and a 10. And all those are 5s. All right, Kids Medical. Kids Medical has 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40. So I'm going to keep 2 20s. And then I'm officially out of room for 20s. So there's going to be, pop these back. And then I need 3 100s for Kids Medical. And actually, again, I think I'm going to swap one of those 100s for 2 50s. Because not all of our Kids Medical bills end up being $100 or over. All right, activities. So activities has 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 5, 10, 15, 20. So I'm going to keep the 50s. I'll keep a 20. And then I'll swap the rest of this out for a 100. So 100, 150, 220 stays in activities. Birthdays. Birthdays has 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 270, 290, 310, 330, 350, 370, 390. So I'm definitely going to do the 90. I'm going to do 200 of that in 50s and then 100 of it in a $100 bill there. 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 370, 390. Much better. All right, kids clothing. Kids clothing has 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 135, 140, 145, 150, 155, 160. Okay, let's do that. And then put the rest of it over in here. Perfect. Haircuts has 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So I will keep the 10, swap that for a 50. Memberships. Memberships has 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 300, 5, 10. So 310. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll keep a 10. Put everything else back into here. All right, let's double check and make sure that that's 310. I'm pretty sure it is. 50, 100, 50, 250, 310. School. School has 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65. So we'll keep a 10 and a 5 here. Grab a 50. Phew, 5s are getting hard to squeeze in there too. All right. And then last one, teacher gifts. Teacher gifts has 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 300, 5, 10. So I am going to do 100, 200, 300. We'll keep a 10. Oh my goodness. All right. So we'll check that, make sure it's right. 100, 250, 310. Perfect. All right, guys. So much better. All right, guys, here comes the daunting part. It is time to count all the cash that we have in the tray here. So I'm going to make piles, and then we're kind of just going to take this in chunks. I cannot believe how many 20s are sitting in that pile. Holy smokes. All right. And we've got 5s. And we've got these rogue 1s. Like the movie. These few rogue 1s here that we've got that we need to account for as well. Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and start giving this account. Every time I get to $1,000, I will put that pile back into the cash tray so we know that we've got piles of 1,000. So let's just go ahead and get started. All right, 50, 100. Ooh, see, that's going to make these tricky because some of these are really crispy. 50, 100, 50, 200, 50, 300, 50, 400, 50, 500. 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 800, 20, 40, 60, 80, 900, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1,000. All right, first $1,000. All right, let's keep going with the 20s here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 800, 20, 40, 60, 80, 900, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1,000. $20, 40, 60, 80, 1,000, 20, 40, 60, 80. I just said 1,000. Oh my gosh, guys, my brain. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 800, 20, 40, 60, 80, 900, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1,000. $20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 800, 20, 40, 60, 80, 900, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1,000. All right, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 300. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 400. So 410s. Oh boy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 200. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 300. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 400. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 500. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 600. So I've got 410s, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000. Let me tell you why that is mind blowing that it ended up being exactly right. So remember, at the beginning of this video, I started with $1,500. So I need to have $1,500 that is going back into the bank. So you might wonder why I have so much more than that. So let me put this into the cash tray and then we will reconcile and make sure that that is exactly right, but I am 99% sure it is. So this is $1,000. Is it gonna fit? Is it gonna fit? Is it gonna fit? Is it gonna fit? Ooh, squeeze it. All right, guys, I have got 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, $5,000 that is ready to go back to the bank. $1,500 of that I started with, so that is just replenishing what I had. Now I used several placeholders in here. So I had a $1,000 placeholder that I put into my other savings challenge in the Magical Vacation Savings Challenge. I had a $500 placeholder I put into my airfare savings challenge. I put a $500 placeholder into my accommodation savings challenge. I put a $500 placeholder into my emergency sinking fund. I put another $500 placeholder into my Christmas sinking fund, and then I put another $500 placeholder into my insurance sinking fund. So total, I put $3,500 worth of placeholders into sinking funds and savings challenges, and then I started with $1,500, so that equals the $5,000 that I have left in my cash tray, which means that I did it right. Thank goodness that it landed that way, because I literally, if you could see me right now, I've got hives because it always makes me so nervous getting down to those last few dollars. If I was a little bit off, is it the end of the world? No, but I have type A brain and it would have bothered me and I would have had to go back and figure it out. So I am exactly right on. So that means that I've got $5,000 going into the bank. 3,500 of that is from sinking funds and savings challenges, which is amazing. And that is it for this cash condensing. So I know that was a lot. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me. This is just the second cash condensing filming that I've ever done. So hopefully this is helpful to kind of see this process. And as always, if you are on your own personal finance journey, I wish you a simple budget, a calm mind, and a happy life. Thanks for watching.